For my family, gotta build a legacy. I'ma be the man when I'm dead. Work too hard, I can't slip up, so I'm clutching tight on this lead.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? CW Entertainment back with another Madden 21 Tennessee Titans franchise. We're here in the preseason, and I just want to give you guys a quick little synopsis of what happened during the offseason in case you didn't want to, sit down and watch an hour and a half long video. We made some trades here in the offseason. Tannehill, Malcolm Butler, Adam Humphries were all traded in the offseason. We got draft picks for it, and we made some moves in the draft to help benefit our team. Rashaan Evans, we were able to pick up his 5th-year contract. Y'all know how I felt about Rashaan. He's a great player for us on that inside linebacker position. When it came into the draft, we did end up getting we got some needs, and we also kind of got some depth pieces. Carl Carson, he's a guy that we'll be adding on. Ben Jones is getting up there in age. I believe this might be his contract year. If not, he's got 1 year left, but there's a good chance, Carson may be able to take over that role this year, depending on, we'll take a look, see what happens throughout preseason, see how well he is playing. Brayton Middlebrooks became our 2nd pick in the 1st round. We actually had 2 of them when we made that deal for Tannehill and swapping them out with him and Malcolm Butler for the 1st round pick. And Brayton Middlebrooks was one of the fastest guys in the draft. You guys can see a 97 speed, 93 acceleration. He's going to take over Humphrey's role, and he'll be that hopeful deep threat that we have, kind of that mismatch advantage, potential return specialist as well, as we look to see excitingness out of him. I mean, he's a shorter guy. He's about 5'8", 5'9", but nothing too crazy. Then we have Manuel Peralta, a quarterback out of LSU. We ended up taking him. Got a good pick. He fell to the late 2nd round. He actually was somebody that was jumping a lot. So he was a red 2, and then he jumped up to being a 1st round, and then he dropped back down to being projected for that 2nd round. And we do end up getting him. He was the fastest quarterback in this draft. And so far, the stats actually were not that bad, but you guys can see the kid is lightning fast, 90 speed. That's going to be a dangerous quarterback. Then we go for some more depth pieces. We ended up getting not outside linebacker, defensive end in Paul Hancock. He was a guy that was projected for the 6th round, and then it ended up being like a 1st round pick, talent-wise. And we get a backup tight end in Jermaine Blake. He's also hitting dev for us as well, so that's even better. We have Jonnu Smith, but we also needed another tight end. You got to have at least 2. Jonnu had a couple injuries throughout the year, but mainly he was able to bounce back for him. And then for the remainder of this draft, we kind of went more for depth. We have some aging offensive linemen, so we just kind of want to at least have some guys in there, just so they can start kind of hopefully growing. Nick Tyson, another defensive end, he also is hitting dev, so we were able to find some potential gems here in this draft. And we once again get another offensive lineman. At this point, we were just kind of drafting more based off need than we really were worried about where they were falling or where they were supposed to be drafted at. Plus, we didn't want anybody getting taken from us in this draft. We actually had a strong safety on the board that we could have traded back. Didn't end up getting him. He went to Baltimore. We got a fullback. We had no fullback on the roster. Ended up drafting one. And then we were able to draft, with our final pick, Andrew Charleston, yet another wide receiver. But before we get any further, I have something special for you guys. Back in 2017, a young baseball and football prospect was emerging from the ranks out in Chandler, Arizona. Manuel Peralta, son of Jose and Maria Peralta and nephew of former All-Star shortstop Johnny Peralta, was a star on the diamond and the gridiron. Manuel wanted to be a 3-sport athlete in high school. However, schedule conflicts with baseball and track, so he ended up choosing baseball. Manuel was the fastest person in the school, and very well may have been the fastest person in the entire state. One of the main reasons he wanted to play both football and baseball was because of his idol, Russell Wilson. Manuel had watched and studied Russell ever since he was in middle school, while Russell was in college at North Carolina State and Wisconsin. So when Russell was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks, he knew he'd get an opportunity to see him live when he came to Arizona to play the Cardinals once a year. Now, Manuel grew up a Cardinals fan, but he couldn't contain himself when it came to rooting for Russell Wilson. The man was electric. He wanted to be just like him in every way. He saw the way he could throw the deep ball. saw the way he was able to run, and he had a feeling that he could do the exact same thing. Russell was his biggest sports hero, and he wanted to be just like the man. At Chandler High School in Chandler, Arizona, while I was a freshman in 2013, his team made it to the semifinals, but lost to Hamilton High School in a close one, 21-17. Manuel was given the keys to the team as a sophomore and succeeded, getting his team all the way to the state championship and getting revenge versus Hamilton High School, winning that game 28-7. As a junior, Manuel and the Wolves fell in the semifinal round again, losing 24-21 to Desert Ridge. But before his senior year, Manuel was focusing in on his baseball career. Manuel entered the MLB Players Draft to see where he would potentially land. Now, Manuel did play shortstop like his uncle and Russell, and was good at it. He wasn't the greatest with his bat, but for the most part, he would hit kind of liners, hit gappers. Wasn't the guy that was really known for his power. And that's okay because you still need those type of guys in the league. However, that's kind of starting to phase out. But what Manuel was good at was the defensive side. His glove work, his arm strength, his accuracy. And he was probably one of the best people coming out that could flip that double play. Now, when it came to the scouts, they saw the potential in Manuel. And it looked good throughout the entire combine for the most part. And when he got out here to show what he could do in the game, it's pretty much reflected out here what he does best. He does great defensively, but when the bat begins to get in his hands sometimes, it can go well, or it can find the glove of the outfielder pretty often. So when Manuel does get his opportunities at bat, he knows he has to be better at it. But once again, we mentioned earlier, isn't he always good at turning these double plays? As he flips it behind his bat, we said he's one of the best. And that's exactly what he's known for, man. He turns these double plays. It does a great job fielding. Has an opportunity to bring home a run here and trying to use his speed to beat the third baseman getting down that first base line, but he's not able to do it. Now, if he wants to be this coveted shortstop, he's going to have to do this more often. You can't just rely on defensive abilities to get you to where you want to be. Now, you can say his first game was subpar, at least batting-wise it was, but he did what he normally does, and that's be a good defensive player. He found, the gloves of the outfielders quite often, ended up striking out, did find a way to get a base hit, but if he wants to be this baseball player, he's got to turn it up a notch. Now we're getting to the second game, and Manuel is doing exactly what he normally is used to doing, and that's throwing these guys out when they hit it over there to him. But he doesn't look right. You can take a look at his body language, and it isn't the best. Does he want to be out there? Or is he just upset with his performance? Regardless of what it is, this really isn't Manuel. It's hard to say. Normally a very spirited guy, and he normally didn't allow much to get to him. As we can see right here, he drills one out there into the gap and gets a nice double. His best hit so far of the showcase. But even here, with that double he crushed into the gap, he just kind of keeps that serious face on. He's back up for another at-bat and a chance to bring home a run. Manuel splits third and short and delivers to make it a 2-run game. Not only that, but good base running IQ, and he finds himself at second. Yet again, not much emotion shown. I mentioned earlier how Manuel wanted to run track. And now you see why. The young man can flat out fly. Not only would he have been safe at third if that would have counted as a steal, but he then darts for home and adds on yet another run. The dude is moving, but yet it's almost like he doesn't care. Now for game 2, he definitely performed a lot better, and now we can see why he may want to play baseball. He was able to bring home a run. I mean, basically stole third and then ended up going for home. But with the showcase games now being over, it was time to go back home to Chandler, Arizona to start his senior year of football. Manuel led his team to a 13-2 record that year. Not only did he go back to the state championship game, he led his Wolfpack and they dominated the entire playoffs, averaging 52 points per game in the past season, Manuel got his second ring and even got to play in the Geico Bowl game and won 44-24 over Valdosta High School out of Georgia. But why am I mentioning any of this? It's because Manuel actually thought he had a better chance of being a Major League Baseball player than making it to the NFL. A 5-star prospect in high school for both football and baseball, Manuel had offers from everywhere for football, but his heart was set on baseball. Plus, he was learning from his uncle, Johnny Peralta. So when it was time for the MLB player draft, he was disheartened to believe that not only was he not being selected in the first couple of rounds, he fell. He fell far.
Manuel Peralta, a shortstop from the West region.
So being selected in the 15th round by the Orioles, he wasn't too happy. Then, in a phone call with his former baseball coach, he got interesting news. His coach said he could delay a year and go to college to hone his skills some. This got Manuel thinking. He could try and get better in college, or he could go to the minor league system and become an official pro. It was at this point, Manuel did go back to school. With scholarships offers still on the table, he went to Baton Rouge to play for LSU. He never played baseball again. He grabbed his helmets and pads and returned to football, to where he was then drafted by the Tennessee Titans in the back end of the second round, and now he'll compete for a starting role in Nashville. In Nashville, Tennessee, we have training camp underway. Cole McDonald taking his first snaps as the starter in an offseason. And right now he's trying to get improvement with his offensive line, get in sync with his coordinators, trying to figure out what his wide receivers are liking. Not too many new faces on this offense, but there are a couple new ones, especially at the wide receiver position. We have a new wide out that Cole McDonald will hopefully get used to with Middlebrooks. But right now, we're just trying to work on getting everything going with mainly our starters, Jonnu Smith, Corey Davis, A.J. Brown, as Corey Davis is going to wrap up training camp here with a touchdown. But let's go ahead and hop into our first preseason game. And honestly, it was a very impressive performance from this team. The defense was pretty much just lights out. Guys can see Sam Darnold on the 3rd and 18 had a screenplay, and it went nowhere. We made some signings in free agency before the regular season to fill some holes. And right now, McDonald, he has our team moving the ball well. A 1st and goal handoff to Derrick Henry allows him to bounce it to the outside. He ran over the cornerback, couldn't get to that end zone. But on 2nd and goal, a handoff to the newly drafted fullback. He finds the end zone for his first touchdown of the season. And now it's not a first, official touchdown, but when you get to preseason, sometimes they just kind of call it, your first touchdown or whatnot. But another 3rd down here for the Jets, and it's back-to-back 3 and outs. The defense coming to play early on. Kenny Vaccaro made the stop. We're looking for a lot out of him this year, as we know his job is potentially on the line. Derrick Henry breaks away for a good run, but interesting here, Jonnu Smith does get an injury, has a shoulder strain, and with it being the preseason, we're not worried about him coming back at all, as we find his backup tight end, Jermaine Blake, getting his first reception of the preseason, his first career, or not, need to stop calling it a career, but his first NFL catch. And now, later here in the drive, I believe this may even been the very next play, Middlebrooks in his first catch in the NFL, and it's another 1st down. But McDonald with a 3rd down and 10, he's back to pass, he's rolling to his right, finds his man. Corey Davis will get it and get out of bounds for a 1st down, putting us right outside of the goal line. Handoff Derrick Henry, he spins off a tackle. Derrick Henry looking like he's in mid-season form, taking it for the touchdown run. And it's an early blowout in the first quarter. It's 14-0. This Jets, they don't look like they've changed much from last year. A 2nd and 7 handoff is blown up in the backfield from Jayon and then cleaned up by Rashaan Evans. Absolutely lit up Le'Veon Bell on the run. Le'Veon Bell is no longer a Jet in real life. Ended up releasing him. As of right now, he has yet to sign with anybody yet. But a 4th and 4 punt right here is Brandon Middlebrooks, and Middlebrooks is off to the races. He will eventually get caught. There's a flag on the players bringing it back, but he's just showing that explosiveness that he does have. 1st and 10, It's a toss play to the outside. The starters are done for the day, but Rashaan Evans lights up the running back on the play, but unfortunately, we weren't able to get a foot inbound and recover that. Now, Rashaan wasn't supposed to be in there anyway, so we did eventually get that switch out. So they tried running another toss to the backups, and the backups was having none of it as well. So a 3rd down and 2 here. They hand it off to the running back yet again, and the running back is going to be just shy of that 1st down. This defense is looking good so far, man. I've been very impressed. Three and outs to start off a game. That's what you want to see. Now we have Manuel Peralta entering the game. This is his 2nd drive. Not much going on in that 1st drive. He finds his man. It's the rookie picking up a 1st down on the slant route. But a 3rd down and 3 here. They tried getting another 1st down. Or they tried getting their first down. They still have yet to get it. Back to on a play action. Peralta rolling to his left son. Finds his man, and it's Keelan Doss with the reception. Now, Keelan Doss, he could be a guy that he's fighting for a position on this team for that 5th, 6th wide receiver role. 2nd and 1, Peralta back to throw under pressure, and he's going to do what he's known for, taking off with his legs, getting down with the slide, and picking up a 1st down on the play, keeping the drive alive and keeping it moving. 4th and 2, we already know what Greg Joseph's about. Why not see what these young guys can do? We're going for it on 4th and 2. Back to throw, rolling out to his right. Peralta looked like he's going to take off, but he fires it all the way down the field, hitting his rookie receiver, Charleston. The rookie connection working right there. That was Charleston actually early on that slant route. But we got a 1st down and goal here. Back to throw, firing out to the end zone. He has his man, Jermaine Blake, on the reception for the touchdown. 1st touchdown pass in the NFL for Peralta, and the 1st touchdown reception for Jermaine Blake. Now, once again, these aren't official career stats or anything. It's just kind of what they kind of start saying in preseason, so I'm just kind of using that lingo as well. But we have a 1st down and 10, a 5 wide. They're going to end up hitting the man, and it's blown up by Rashaan Evans, who for some reason came back in. The rookie scoops it up. It's Hancock on the fumble recovery, and this team, boy, just lighting it up. We're at the halftime mark. You can see Manuel Peralta and Cole McDonald both in a quarterback battle. Ended up having the exact same completion percentage. Both were 6 of 9. And both actually played very well. Peralta does have the higher QB rating, but that's because he had more yards and did throw for the touchdown. So it's going to be interesting. Derrick Henry was doing his thing. Darrington Evans, he was still kind of struggling to find his groove there, but it's kind of based off of the offensive line. Andrew Charleston with some nice catches. He's showing that, he can be that 4th/ mix in with the slot. Jermaine Blake had a reception, and it was able to actually had 2 receptions on the starting end and with Manuel Peralta, and ended up scoring a touchdown as well. Derrick Henry also was able to get a reception this one. Keelan Doss we saw with that big 25-yard completion, and Brayton Middlebrooks had 1 reception as well with the starters, but he is not playing with the 2s as we have other guys that are filling in for him. Rashaan Evans, boy, he came out here. He was a man on a mission. Forced a fumble, has a tackle for a loss. He's looking very good defensively. I believe we have 4 of the 5 or 6 drives were 3 and outs. And the Jets so far are scoreless in this half. And Greg Joseph was perfect on his kicks. No issues for Brett Kern in the return game. They had that penalty get called back, so that's why Middlebrooks thing did not stand. But we ended up simulating the rest of the half. We didn't want to see any more just because, but this team just absolutely beat them down. Manuel Peralta still ended up with 100 quarterback rating and still did fairly well. His completion percentage did drop as he threw more passes, but he ended up throwing another touchdown, and he was doing pretty well. He even ran for a touchdown. We know he can run the ball. That is never going to be an issue. Darrington Evans, he seemed to stay the same. I think he was 3.4 averaging earlier, but it's okay. Andrew Charleston and Keelan Doss, they balled out. Jermaine Blake was able to find another reception in this game, but yeah, Keelan Doss and Andrew Charleston, those could be guys that that fill up our back end of the wide receiver roster. We'll see how the rest of the preseason games do go though. Dane Cruikshank ended up leading the team in tackles. Not bad. Rashaan Evans is still up there. Rashaan seemed like he did get some more snaps here in this one. That, unfortunately we did not want him to get, but it's just we need to sign some more middle linebackers to push him out of there so he'll be not on defense or special teams or whatever it is. Paul Hancock was actually even able to get a sack in this game as well. So we want to see that. You know, these guys we drafted, we want to see. So you guys saw we did pick up Emmanuel Mosley, Star Latualele, I believe that's how you pronounce it. My bad if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but we did sign some people that we needed. Kylie Fitz and somebody else, you know, for depth reasons. So that's part of the reason. Like, if you didn't see, where we get these guys, we signed them going into the preseason. But yeah, there's some guys we still got to get involved more. We drafted some defensive depth guys that really didn't see the field too much, and that we're gonna try and figure out a way. But we did get one injury, Mike Beck. He was an outside linebacker we ended up picking up, actually also during the free agency period here during the preseason. But you guys, I want to say thank you all very much for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys hit the like button, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with the videos I'll be posting of this Tennessee Titans series and more. We're back with Season 2. Let's see how it goes. I'm out to next time, everybody. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace.
And it's the love from my fans got me still here.